DreamHack Summer Open, and we're back again, and we're into the upper bracket final. Mac is looking pretty happy. What about you, Pilsky? A bit of a...
I don't really have the moves
You don't have
that
the-
you guys have.
You're sitting between me and Mac, you know, come on.
I think I need a few beers
All right,
before
ready?
I can actually get moving a little bit more.
Of course you do.
It's really disappointing, isn't it?
It was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Ah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. We're here to talk about Counter-Strike. We're not here to do dance or anything like that. If you're interested in that kind of thing, patreon.com/selfishguy. Anyway, we'll jump right over that one. But let's talk about Renegades and Order. We're going into map number 2. This one's going to be Vertigo, and things are going to either Vertigo 2-0 to Renegades, or maybe we're going to go all the way to map 3. What do you reckon? Order, much of a chance, or is this all the way of Renegades?
Yeah, of course they have a chance. I think they played pretty alright that last map. The scoreline doesn't show how close some of those situations were, and I feel like they just ground down over time. So we'll see how things go on Vertigo.
Yeah, I guess a map like Vertigo, though, does, I guess, reward a lot of this individual performance, which we've seen some of these Order players doing so far. So maybe they'll have a chance to get behind their opponents. You know, from what we saw, especially over towards that jump up area, over towards the B site, Order were very, very good at controlling the B site from there and just dominating that mid area. So
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be able to do that again against Renegades.
It has been a little while since I've watched Vertigo, so I'm interested to see, you know, if anything news coming out from the player break or anything like that. Maybe someone's got some new executes, new ideas, something to throw at us here for Vertigo as we do head into map 2. Could be the last map of the night, so hopefully we'll be able to enjoy it. We'll see what Renegades have for us. I think that's going to be the key talking point. Obviously, this being Renegades map choice. Let's see what they've got.
Well, first series of the night was an elimination. This is a fight for a one-map advantage in the grand final. And I don't think anyone would be surprised to see a rematch of this series, even if we make it there, but still have a loser's bracket to go through, and this map, at least.
Oh.
As Inns opens up pretty nicely.
Valiant's boosted up, but Inns was ready for it. Already showing his awareness on the map.
Counter flash comes out as well, creates a little bit more space. Ricky just trying to guard this ramp here, make sure no one's gone too far on the flank. Obviously, Dexter's just around the corner in a pretty prime position to make sure that no one's going to aggress towards that beach site. Or A site, rather. At least for the time being.
Dexter, interesting position. Has the backup of Malta. This will be a tough crossfire to break. Dexter takes first contact. Malta just books it out of there. He's not interested at all. Not too many shots being connected by Dexter that time. Ricky just cops a little bit. Smokes down onto the A-bomb site. Order going to charge their way up there. There's a few Renegades players having rotated across already, and they're going to go through the smoke. That's not worked out nicely at all for Renegades. Order planting the bomb. Inns 22 bullets. Maybe a chance if he deals with Alistair, but does not.
Nice pistol to be taken early on by Order. Give them the momentum to get a little bit of a lead to start things off. Investing in some AKs and armor. Questioning whether Renegades are going to force into this one. Seems like a pretty big investment from all of them. They are indeed. Scout, pistols and armor. Order makes to make sure they don't take this round too lightly.
I don't think they will be. Every single round is going to matter against a team like Renegades, particularly after what we saw on Mirage. Sicko looking for that early damage. Won't get it. A little bit of a tickle from that grenade. 99 HP for Alistair. Really negligible in the grand scheme of things.
Most likely. Deep control on the stairs here for Inns. Crossfire between him and Hats, who's playing anti-flash. Waiting for the T's to overcommit, and they are heading in this direction. This pistol crossfire needs to find some damage here for Renegades.
Yeah, Inns is in a nice spot, and we know what he can do with the Deagle, so let's just wait and see. Shot from Ali. Hats, he wanted the second so badly. If he would have just fallen off, he might have had a chance to survive, but got greedy, got punished. Now Malta with the 5-7 is going to look to put in a bit more work right now for his side.
Wind up by Sicko, who's trying to fire away here. Malta jumps up on the pallet, but it's actually the flank from Dexter out of nowhere. He's weaved his way through multiple T's, so now the bomb dropped on the site into a 2-on-2.
Yeah, Sicko's in a good spot as well, jumping above that smoke. Malta, a bink onto Ricky, but won't find the kill. Maybe that's still enough. Sicko now has a one shot onto Ricky.
Two smokes picked up for Ricky and Jyra. One of them drops straight away as Ricky attempts to put this bomb down. He's very low at this point. Sicko trying to slide off the pallet and establish himself an angle.
Yeah, he wanted the silent drop, but he didn't get it. He's made some noise, now has to commit to this USP in hand. I don't know about this one. It's a strong crossfire. He might get Ricky, but he won't get Jyra. In the end, he won't get either. Order 2-0. It was a bit of a scary round for a moment, but they've negotiated it nicely.
Yeah, no idea how Dexter found his way behind them. I think there was someone holding the flank. Must have snuck down the ladder towards the stairs there at some point. But Order, they managed to negotiate their way through that force buy, and after taking a little bit of economic damage, moving their way into this anti-eco now. Renegades buying a lot of HEs. Keen to see what they're going to be doing with those.
Nothing so far.
Oh, one of them dunks. He's still over 50 HP. Not a bad investment at all.
Also creeping up close with that MP5. Seen him pick up the MP5 a couple of times so far today. Maybe it's a bit of a comfort weapon for him. Don't really see too many other players utilizing it. I think it's a cool gun. I like it. It looks cool.
I think you're a pretty cool guy.
That's normally how I choose what gun to use.
Oh, yeah.
What one looks cool. That's why I was always a user of the M4A1S instead of the A4. Because the M4A4 just looks like a potato, but the A1S looks really cool.
Potatoes shoot a little bit faster, though, Jordan. And have 10 more bullets.
Who needs that? When you can look cool. It is 5 now as well. So far, so good for Order. Bomb plants down. 3v4.
Cool gun does die, though. So, don't know if that really helps your argument or not. Probably not.
Maybe.
But in some regard, that death did create space for the bomb to go down, and this extremely good crossfire with many rifles. As I talk it up, Hats is literally just killing everybody with a USP. Even dinks Jyra. There's no way he should be connecting shots, but that is just how sharp some of these Renegades players are. Regardless, though, Order comes away with the round after losing more guns than they probably bargained for.
Yep.
I think they were feeling a little bit too confident that they were going to come away with that with 4 guns alive, and took their eyes a little bit more off their monitor, and Hats was just binking away. So either way, round was secured. Renegades put a buy together. It does contain the AWP, but after losing a few more guns than they wanted, Order, they're in a bit of a rough state economically, but Hats dropping straight away does get taken out right off the bat. That's pressure on ins.
It is important for Order to continue this pressure on Renegades as well. You know, they can't be resting on their laurels or anything like that. Up 5-1 on Mirage, and they really just let that map slip away from them. Now they're up 3-0. They have a numbers advantage in the first gun round. Continue to grind Renegades down. Maybe there is still a way that Order can come back into this series.
Well, need to make sure that they're converting these 5-on-4s if they're going to do so. Sicko getting aggressive, inching his way forward. A lot of T's on this side of the box, and he actually misses the shot. Both of the kills go the way of Order, so now into a 5-on-2.
It's not looking good for Renegades at all, is it? Malta might get one. He's fully white, but Alistair still going to drop. And starts his rotate over toward the A-bomb side as well. Flash goes through. That's very nice. Jyra, no chance. Ins again making the difference. All of a sudden back to a 3-on-2. I wonder if this is still winnable for Renegades.
Definitely is. You can't count them out in any situation. This will be, what, a 2v5? Order's trying to avoid that world, but unfortunately, Ins just a little too sharp. Smoke goes down onto the side. Both of the CTs right here. Bomb plant being attempted by Ricky.
It's a good shot from Valiance. Ins in a 1-on-2. Wouldn't necessarily count him out here. Smoke to go down on the bomb, provide maybe a bit more space. Defuse in the smoke, probably not on the cards with the HP that he has, but there goes Valiance, and now you start to think about it. It's a full 10-second defuse, though, and that was never going to happen. Ricky does finish it off again. A little bit too close for comfort for Order, but still another round that they get over the line.
Yeah, but this was the issue that I was alluding to on that previous map of Mirage. They're getting these victories, but they're scraping them through. Even in a situation where they're in a 5-on-2, they're dropping 4 guns. It takes a toll on your economy, and it means that Renegades can have a much faster turnaround if they start winning some rounds to snowball that if they break your money. The question here really is how much damage does Renegades get done with these pistols? Because Order, they lost 4 guns in that 2-on-5. You can't go back now, that's already happened. But what you can do to make good on that is just to avoid deaths to these pistols.
He's just had the done, Pilski. There's a nice start, though, for Gyra. Water have been putting quite a bit of premium in toward mid here. They've always liked to explore that area early in the round.
Oh, I thought he was going to get knifed. That would have helped the economy as well, particularly on Ali, who might want to pick up an AWP at some point. Methodical from Order, though. Good use of the utility to clear out some of these angles. And in this 5-on-2, this is where we don't want another hat situation, okay? Don't be losing some extra guns just because you're getting a little bit lackadaisical. All 5 need to survive here.
Yeah, so go tap, tap, tapping away through the smoke, but so far, Order haven't lost a single gun. Definitely looking for someone to jump up on those boxes above the smoke, but Order aren't so eager to give those frags away this time.
Very nicely done.
Look at that wall behind. It's just a spray of bullets. Tactical timeout for Renegades, and if you remember, Pilski, it was after the tactical pause that Mirage started to turn around. So this have to be an important round for Order to negotiate cleanly.
The good thing for Order, though, is after a very solid anti-eco in that previous, they have a little bit more room to work with.
Yeah.
So even if Renegades does come up with a good solution here, that's going to give Order a little bit more wiggle room to adapt to whatever the change-up is. Maybe try something different. Maybe even try something different preemptively. Try to stay one step ahead post-pause. Either way, though, 5-0, it's a great start for Order. But Renegades is they're just too good at these comebacks. They're too good at grinding you down over time, as we saw in Mirage. So Order, they can't lose focus. Can't take anything for granted here. Nice run boost. Love to see it.
Ricky's across. I don't know if Hat spotted him there. That certainly saw Gyra. Hasn't been traded down now by Ricky, but the info I think is given, so any element of surprise is gone. Those grenades have done so much damage.
So massive from Ins, and another one's getting thrown in there by Hearts. That does another chunk of damage as well. These nades so good for Renegades. Before Order have even established control past the stairs, they've lost a pick. They've lost half their HP on 3 players.
And they definitely seem wary. They don't want to move up those stairs.
This is one of those rounds where you can feel like you're never really in the round, you know? You tried to take some map control, you got absolutely dunked.
Threw everything at the wall there, even the run boost, you know. And it's all come up for naught, at least so far. 4-on-5 is still winnable. Ins, maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew here. There's a few Order players headed in his direction. He's got the info there, though, and the molly lands on the bomb site, and he'll throw an incendiary back. A bit of revenge, maybe. And I think we'll see some revenge from Renegades this round, because they are clearly the ones to clean it up. Ins finds the bomb carrier and finishes off Ustillo as well. Great headshot. Renegades finally get their first round on the board.
Yeah, utility wins Renegades that round. Not only the HE nades, but as soon as Order tried to, go in that 4-on-5 up onto that B site, just the Molotov gets thrown out, the smoke extinguishes the other Molotov, flash in from that rotating player. So Ricky's essentially running through a Molotov blind and getting peeked at the same time. Difficult situation to be in when you're trying to convert a 4-on-5.
That's another good grenade. Valiance cops about 50% of his HP again. Dexter's getting a lot of work done with the util. Alistair just standing out in the open, not quite punished in the end by Malta, but cops a lot of damage. An opening frag, though, does go in the favor of Order, courtesy of Ricky.
Pretty important. Pick onto that B site. It's not even the main point of contact at this point for Order. The boost up, though, might catch one off guard and actually get a pick back for Renegades.
Yeah, Malta's not seen much just yet, though.
Order's just pumping the brakes. They're waiting for the aggression. Haven't been obliged just yet, though.
Just can't quite spot Valiance. You know, someone's there. The utility being thrown gives that much away. And a very patient Malta finds his prey.
Oh no, that's a nightmare from a 5-on-4. Order just pumps the brakes for 50 seconds-ish and loses 2 picks. Like, nightmare scenario. Ricky's done a good job of cracking open the B site on that lurk position, but now Order's got to try and convert a 3-on-4 with 30 seconds to go. It's going to be difficult.
Dexter might well line 2 up here. The pop flash for himself. He'll re-peek off the back of it. Gyra's done so. So is Ricky. That's excellent work from Inns. Dexter. Still Oil's on his own. 9 HP. 9 seconds, rather. 44 HP. Don't think it matters how much he's got. He's not going to win the round. Will likely save the AK, though.
Happening again, unfortunately. 2 gun rounds back-to-back. Ustilo even gets
Never
cleaned
mind.
up there towards the end.
Yep, no money.
No money for Order and Renegades. A very clean round in the previous. I think 4 surviving. This one not too bad either, and now heading into an anti-eco.
Well,
This is exactly what happened on Mirage. Order gets off to a good start. Renegades has this reply with the loss bonus behind them, no less. And now they've got a ton of money if they close out this anti-eco cleanly, and they're suddenly in a very firm position in this half.
it's just another turnaround off the back of a tactical pause. Renegade's the only team I feel like at the moment. Wow, that's a grenade. I was going to say, Renegade's the only team at the moment I feel that are using those to effectiveness. Malta and Dexter are going to have the time of their life. It's a shooting gallery.
They might just have 5 alive at the end of this, and that's just going to skyrocket that CT economy.
You know how they made like farming simulator esports last year? Didn't realize that they'd integrated some sort of esports league with Counter-Strike. Here we go. Bit of a farm in that last round from Renegades. 5-3. Money's good again for Order, but just seems like we're at that point that Renegades has decided that they want to start playing the game again.
They're in a strong position here. Good money behind them. What's the response from Order? I think first time we've seen AWP on Alistair. Could be a difference maker here. Next to here's the burning in the Molotov, but off the flashbang from Malta pushes through, but not bad from Order. All things considered, a 1-for-1 over towards an aggressive position like that, it's going to cause some shifts in his CT rotations and maybe open up some gaps. And that's where Order has to start to step into the fold and actually punish these pushes. But unfortunately, Ricky, he did a great job last round, getting that pick over towards the B site. This time, Inns gets the better of him.
Sicko with an AWP in hand. Haven't seen much from Sicko so far on this map. He's been largely a rotator. It's really just been Dexter and Malta holding the A bomb site by and large, but now Sicko might try to get involved. Again, Order really just slowed things down. They like to have that early engagement and then a very slow mid-round, which I'm not sure is necessarily the right play against a team like Renegades.
Renegades is playing very decisively. Saw in that 4-on-4 immediately just the double push into B. That's a really sharp shot from Gyra though. And look at the rotation that causes. A bunch of players shifting over to this CT side, even gets a lot of damage onto Hats. Is the bomb even heading in this direction onto B though? I think, yes it is.
It's taking its time, but it's gotten there.
Bomb goes down. Renegade's not super sure what's happening until that bomb is fully established. Alistair's actually flanking with an AWP. Be a bit of a difference maker. Oh no, he comes back up towards the stairs.
This is a nice spot for Alistair to play from. Hats should be dead as soon as he walks out on that boost. Shoulder peeking the corner, waiting for it. Very well prepared. Good knowledge of the map there. And Sicko's caught Gyra. Now Alistair! I thought he was going to get a collateral there, but in the end he actually drops to Sicko. Do they expect Valiance from the same angle? Not much time now for Renegades. They have to get on the bomb. Sicko doesn't touch the defuse. And that's actually going to save his life and give him enough time to defuse the bomb as Malta finishes Valiance off 5-4.
Oh, that's a really frustrating round if your Order doesn't get much closer than that, and a lot of opportunities there. Very, very back and forth. But those are the kind of clutch rounds that we see Renegades come away with so often, Jordan. These smoke diffuse situations, you know, very, very nail-biting rounds that come down to a couple of milliseconds difference. They can make it happen. Order off the back of dropping that one. It's a half buy with a Hero AK on Valiance. Zico starts things off towards middle, drops that Molotov and gets out of there as well. Follows it up with the nade. Look at this util. That's just insane. The T's are just trying to push through a brick wall and they're doing a decent job at it.
Yeah, Hats dancing around. I don't know that 2 kills is enough to really trouble Renegades here, though. That's the thing. They've still got 3 guns alive. Zico's at 8k. The only player that's really wanting for money at the moment is Malta. So you're going to need more than 2 reinvestments to make Renegades feel a little bit poorer. And they've equalized the scoreline now. This is exactly the same as what happened on Mirage. 5-1. Renegades call tactical timeout. And then it's just complete demolition, really.
And now a bit of a different look here for Renegades as they go into the double AWP. So Order might be reading into the last couple of rounds. They take a tactical timeout. It's starting to slip. It's already slipped, let's be real. Like, they're going to have their work cut out for them now because Renegades, they've been on a little bit of a streak and built up quite a bit of cash for themselves. So Order's going to have to win a couple of gun rounds consecutively. If they even can break their money. I'm sure they can. There's quite a few rounds still left in the half.
Double AWP for Renegades. It's interesting on a map like Vertigo. Don't tend to see it all that often.
I'm kind of interested if this is going to be a more sort of defaulty kind of round from Order. If Ricky goes over to those stairs and gets caught off guard by that. Could be a factor.
Zico wise to back away, so too Dexter. Giving up control of ramp. Order were very quick into that area of the map. They've lost a bit of HP in doing so, but nothing too strenuous for them. Dexter gonna catch the head of Valiance.
I feel like Order are so offered in these last couple of rounds for trying to play from a deficit, and even if it's even stakes or they're ahead, Renegades does something decisive to try to get back into it and move kind of like that. Alistair's actually taken matters into his own hands. He's gotten 1 pick back, but they're still at a deficit. There's still work to be done here for Order, and the bomb's dropped.
Full mid control right now for Renegades as well. So they're leaving the B site open. Prepared to give that up. They're actually on the rotate over toward A. Bomb hasn't been collected by Order either, so they're not sure exactly what they want to be doing either. Only now do we see In starting to float back towards B, and he's there a little bit too late. Gyra posted, ready, waiting. B site's open, but Dexter aggresses on A. This is the mid-round timings that Renegades are generally so good at finding. Inns gets it wrong this time, but Dexter gets it right. Hats gets it right. And we're back to a 3-on-1. Gyro did so much work just walking up on the B site, gets control of that site himself. But it doesn't matter.
Another round going the way of Renegades. Gyro just going to hold on to this AK. A little bit of cash in the bank of Ricky and Ustillo means that they can probably actually find himself an AWP after picking off Ins there, so not too bad. We'll throw that over to Ali, who can probably give him AK if he goes light armor. So still somewhat of a buy can be put together here by Order. But Renegades starting to get to the point now where you have pretty unbreakable economy starting to form towards the end of this half, which means that Order, I mean, they actually aren't going to force here. They're going to take a more passive sort of approach, it seems, in terms of the money. Eagles around the AWP is the name of the game. Ricky, pretty confident from him.
That's clean.
They almost kill Ins, but almost is not good enough.
Definitely not. Not when he's going to take 2 of you with him. Mid control. Still kind of contested by Renegades at the moment as well. Alistair might just get boosted up here, but I think Dexter might be ready for it. He's just backed away. Order taking a little bit of a peek in here, but I'd say it's going to be the double swing actually from Renegades just to check mid again. Sooner or later, there's a pop flash in actually for Dexter. Alistair behind the corner for now. Okay, Malta gets a little bit too inquisitive. Unlike a cat, he doesn't have 9 lives. One pegged back by Alistair, but plenty more needed. I think Renegades will just go back into their shell a little bit here, wait for the mistake from Order, and they get it. Sicko catches Alistair looking in the wrong direction. Double smoke as well. Again, it's just another one for Order to have to hide behind or push through. Inns, wouldn't be surprising to see him get Gyra here as well. Grenade goes flying straight in, but it's the spray that's doing the damage. This is, you know, when you really recognize the cerebral understanding that some of these pro players have, that they can spam through that smoke, know that there's 2 players there, get both of the kills without even seeing a single one of them. If you're a player that's, you know, never played Counter-Strike before or anything like that, you look at that and you go, what the hell just happened? That's just game knowledge.
Big brain. All right, 7 in a row for Renegades. It's getting a little ridiculous. And I think this sort of shifts the narrative from Order dominating the half and Renegades trying to come back into it to, can Order even just chip a couple of rounds back in at the end here?
Oh, they know.
Another HE nade, like, going towards those stairs is literally, like, got to be so traumatizing. You go on, it's like playing Minesweeper, you know? Try to click on the right square. It's a trick question, though. There is no right square. They're all bombs.
Have to have a bit of a chat with Badonka about that. He's a big Minesweeper fan.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure it's Badonka. Hope I'm not confusing it for someone else.
Boost. They're edging out. Could pick Dexter here. Very nice shot. Good adjustment on the counter stray from Alistair. Difficult shot to be hitting. But he connects it. That gives Order this man advantage. 50 seconds on the clock, though. And we know that Renegades, they're not going to sit around and wait for something to happen. They're not going to be stagnant.
Man advantage.
Look how deep he is.
Definitely something that Order have been lacking a lot on this T side. They've traditionally been losing that first pick. I like this spot for Sicko. Order cannot get out onto the ramp unseen. So he's going to be able to call for the rotation, if not get themselves an opening pick. Malta's now here to back him up. Time of the essence, really. That's a very nicely placed incendiary. The grenade goes through just to slow things down. Order have to pick up the pace. They have to clear out these angles. They've done so. They now know that it's Renegades just back onto the site, but Sicko boosted up. Should catch Ustillo here, and he will. Ustillo makes the mistake of continuing on his journey. If he would have stayed put where he was, he'd have been surviving. 4v4.
Couple of flashes here are going to be the key for Order to be thrown out at the right times to peak that site.
Alistair goes through the smoke off the back of one of his flashes, gets fully flashed, and Nats opens the account. He's still got more to deal with, touches the bomb, doesn't really have too many other options, has to draw the T's out. Renegades have done well. Defuse is on for Sicko, and that's 8. Make it look easy in the end.
A 4-on-5 into a retake where they end up with 3 alive. It's just, it's too clean for Renegades. Can't quantify how they're doing it. As for Order, kind of running out of steam at this point. Really good start to the half once again, but they've been worn down quite consistently. They're doing good finding these picks, finding these man advantages, but it's closing out the mid to late round. That's always tricky against Renegades, doesn't matter who you are. Tag from Sicko starting things off already. Nade finishes it off.
Double nades. A lot of kills coming from him. Sicko almost gets the timing right, but he's got another chance here. Ricky falls. It's 3-on-2. Sicko doesn't want to get too aggressive through that smoke, but he does tag Valiance. Smoke bang wall bangs him through the box. Gyro the last alive. His position now known. He doesn't really have anywhere to go. There's fire on both sides. Has to push forward now. Hats and Sicko to try and salvage it for Renegades, but Gyro, maybe he can keep it alive. Unfortunately not for Order. 3 kills in the round for Sicko. And 9 for Renegades, where, again, looking towards a 10-5 half.
Order, full loss bonus with those bomb plants. Can keep putting buys on the board, but they're just not finding any rounds. A lot of late plays back towards that A bomb site when they have numbers. Usually in those XVXs, though, they're going towards the B. So maybe mid might be the answer. They're going to try it again. They've been finding picks over here. This is a bit disjointed, but Ricky, nice pick to start things off.
Yeah, it looks like Renegades want to contest mid. I'm not sure that's going to work out too kindly. Dex are 1-for-1 after Malta falls, but they're going to continue to check it. Sicko's in a spot of bother right now. Needs the backup. He'll get it. In starting to creep forward. This is a dangerous play from Inns, but he almost gets the timing right. Boy, oh boy. Alistair somehow still alive. Sicko somehow missing that shot. I don't know what's going on in this round.
The fights just never stop. That was a 5 versus 5 brawl over that jump up area. Now into a 1-on-2. Order bomb dropped over the top of the stairs here. They're going to try and retrieve it. Seems like Sicko is in the neighborhood. A little bit worried about middle. He does clear it though, and he surely will have heard some of those steps. He posts up on the angle.
Yeah, they've still got 40 seconds.
Or the nade.
Hello.
Oh, so close.
It's actually allowed them out onto the site. Alistair's going to put the bomb down here. He won't check Gyra, I don't think. Got Alistair, but he didn't get Gyra. So, in the end, Order scrounged together 6 on their T side. First half looking good for Renegades, though.
Or to get one back towards the tail end of that half, but now it's time for the pistol, which will put us on a different trajectory potentially, depending on who picks it up, Jordan.
It's definitely a good topic to discuss. Renegades 9-6. I mean, I felt like they were going to get the 10-5, but maybe a little bit of an inkling of hope for Order as they head into the second half of Vertigo. Moving on to their CT side. Must win for them if they want that one map advantage going into the grand final, because they are already down a map in this upper bracket final, and that means they'll drop to the lower bracket should they lose this one here. Renegades on their T side, chilling at the moment, but Order are the ones making their moves. They've gone all the way into mid. They have really explored quite a lot of the map, and they are not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, Yusilo sneaking his way down the ladder, and Ricky's got the Molotov ready. So he can potentially drop that, buy himself a little bit of time for that flank to come into effect, but most of these players gripping up around the ramp. Now the flank starts to come in, but Dexter seems ready for it.
Does he? Didn't look too ready in the end. Malta also loses his head trying to walk into the B site. Gyro, you still... What is it about the USPs? Order, seems like every time they have a CT pistol, they just crunch Renegades away, and there's just nothing that Renegades can do about it.
Yeah, they've always been a pretty good on the USPs in every iteration of their roster. Even going back to that Liaz one. Lots of crisp USP rounds being won there.
Yep.
Either way, though, good start. I think Dexter going for that little corner to put his face into it and wait for the flanks to come out. Unfortunately, gets caught in transition there. Good round from Order. And that really puts a bit of a different spin on things, you know? They get that last round towards the end of the half, even after Renegades get 9 in a row, and now they get the pistol and it's 7-9. Then you start getting some eco slaw, you get that confidence going. All of a sudden, it's a different game. But if some kills come out here for Renegades, that could be a different story. And that's one of them. You can't be losing to a Glock in mid there.
It's only an MP9 though for Sicko, so I'm not sure how excited he's going to be about picking that one back up. Ends pretty crisp with the P250.
These are the kind of kills I'm talking about. It's a big mental difference between smacking them 5-0 in the anti-eco and, oh, we lost a couple of guns to P250s and Glocks. They're like, probably not ideal. Lose one more and you're feeling like, oh, feeling a bit shaky heading into the first gun round.
Yeah. Nerves of steel maybe for Order, but not what they're going to have any more pills here. You'd be pretty used to this kind of a situation, wouldn't you?
I
Losing
would,
guns here and there.
I'll be pooping myself, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, that was almost another one. Luckily, Sicko doesn't have any armor. Can't do much either. Well done by Ricky and Valiance to finish it off. 3 guns alive is okay.
Good recovery. That's the first gun for Renegade. They're going to grab all those AKs and armor and the utility that they're looking for. See what the approach is going to be for the first T round. Seems like In's being sent over on an island while the rest of the boys work the ramp here. Alder holding middle as well. Pretty slow approach from Renegades, waiting for aggression. A lot of progressive utility being thrown out by Order towards the stairs there, towards the ramp as well. A couple of smokes being invested. Renegades is patient. They wait for that utility before they start to make a move. Seeing if any of these CTs get a little too confident. There's an angle. That's a great pick for Alice there. Are they going to try and go for more here, though?
Alice has spotted a couple. Look at this setup from Order. No way you're expecting Valiance, but Dexter does. Headshot. That's one more player down. Renegades, though, are struggling, and that's perfect. Just way too many numbers to deal with. Inns is going to have to come up huge here for Renegades. We know he can. Has to collect the bomb.
Smoked off and he exchanges the Molotov back. He's trying to get the bomb here. Gets punished for the smoke push though. That's a great setup for Order. That's a great gun round. Really trusting those angles. Surviving with 3 players and evening up the scoreline to put Renegades on an eco.
What is that angle?
Yeah, that's filthy.
You know, that kind of might make sense with an AWP, but with a FAMAS?
And then the lineup for Gyra. Great counter flash as well for Alistair. You don't expect that many players all in that like close succession a lot of the time. I think it was Valiance's death, it's sort of a formality.
Definitely not a foregone conclusion anymore. Renegades look like they might run away with map 2 as well, but Order are fighting back, and they might actually get the lead.
It's like, can they hold on to it?
That's the question.
They've been too streaky this series. Need some of that consistency, and that comes with getting control of the economy. That's a good way to do it. 5 alive. But this same thing happened the last half, Jordan. Very, very good start. Good first gun round. Anti-ecos, they've got enough money to survive at least one loss. Same situation, and then Renegades won 9 in a row. This is where Order needs to make sure that doesn't happen.
I wonder if this will be a bit of a quicker play from Renegades. Looks like they've already got one up into scaffolding. That's Hats taking the challenge onto Gyro. This time an opener for Renegades. And he's continuing to push. He's gone straight through the smoke. Yustilo's waiting, but Hats is too good. Wow. He's just walked all over Order.
Let's get traded back. All bang through the top means that Renegades only has the one-man advantage. And they've slowed things down. Now starting to make their way towards the other side of the map. Up the stairs. Valiant's pushing the flank. That's a really well-timed nade. That's a hell of a lot of damage, but Ricky needs to make sure he stays alive.
Might not be the easiest of tasks when he was on 22 HP. Malta's waiting. Really nowhere for Ricky to go there.
Counter flash from Alistair, but unfortunately just pre-fired. Alistair trying to make a hero play, sneaking into the smoke. Valiance gets one on the flank. Renegades, they're just waiting. That's exactly why. Inns is going to pick up Alistair and secure that two-man advantage. And they're well aware that Valiance was over on the flank. That's the patience in the mid-round. Very calm and collected from Renegades. They're not freaking out. You'd see a lot of other teams, you know, like...
Who?
Running around
Who
like headless chickens.
Call them out. Rooster. You said chickens. You're talking about Rooster. Is that what this is? This is a call out to all Rooster players.
I would never bully Rooster. I think they're pretty good, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Whatever team that Pilly guy plays for, though.
As soon as you get called out, you just backpedal.
I am a notorious backpedaler. Great openers from Hats. Well, that's one of the 2 gun rounds that Renegades needed to win, and they did so pretty cleanly. Built up a little bit of money. Order loses the next one. That's where they're going to start losing control of the half, but a different look this time. A double AWP setup. Both sides of the map towards stairs and ramp. Both of the orbs are really searching for a pick at this point, but need to be careful if you're Alistair. You've got Hats directly underused. Flash puts him into position. Trader back straight away, but that's not the point. You've lost that orb. You've lost a lot of control and emphasis on ramp, which pulls some of the other CT rotations over. That's a nasty angle from Gyra.
Yeah, it is. How much interest does Renegades really have in mid at the moment? Fair bit by the looks. 6-1 ins. Surely this is at least a 1-for-1. Gyro can't get either. That's bad. Mid's open now. Yustilo's trying to hold on. Smokes are down though, and Renegades have that avenue into the B site if they'd like it through jump up. Actually opted to slow things down again. This is very true to the form that Renegades have been displaying in Vertigo so far.
There's too many question marks at the moment, and again, they just pump the brakes. They wait for that smoke to clear. Unfortunately, this time, Yustilo gets the better of that fading smoke.
Well, Renegades at least are able to retrieve the bomb. So they still have those options. Inns is running around looking for something to do.
I'm still committing to B though, and that goes down. So that's going to be the round.
just.
Ricky.
How's he alive?
How does Valiance die there? I'll be so pissed. Oh, Ricky's gotten away with murder there. That's a good round for Order, though.
Yeah,
To
number
be picking up. Either way, 2 players surviving is going to take its toll on their money, though. Interesting that Ricky had light armor there, and he chose to buy full armor as well as a FAMAS instead of buying a M4. Not really sure what's going on there. He could have probably had M4 in utility. So that might be a difficult situation for him. He comes up against some AKs. Renegades are on the breaking point. Same thing with Order. Very important round to see who's going to take the next step in this map and start to put their opponents under a little bit of pressure. And if you're Order and you're already down that single map, you're not the ones who wants to be the victim of that.
No.
It's a 4-man push towards this ramp. A lot of pressure going to be on Alistair. Double setup towards Secret for the rest of Order.
Well, good start for Dexter. 1 for 1 as Malta does fall, but Alistair's got nowhere to go. There was Molotovs everywhere. Tried to dive back into the smoke, but had no luck there. And now Gyra is met with an incendiary and faced as well. Just having a bit of trouble getting the bomb down here on the site, but plants by default. And so Ricky and Gyra, a 2-on-3 retake as Renegades set themselves up in post plant. 1 by Scaffold, that's Hats. In's playing close in the little cutout. Hats just on the ramp at the moment, but Inns drops early on in the piece. Rather, it's Sicko that's on the ramp. Hats waiting for the push from Gyro, and he'll get fully flashed. So now it's on to Sicko. Time's starting to tick away, but defuse kit's available for both of the CTs. Sicko, oh, he's just totally bamboozled them, and then he's bamboozled himself.
How's that happened? Unfortunate. If he just connects those first couple of shots, he absolutely gamed them both. Walking through the smoke like that. Very, very good play from Sicko, but the aim is not as good as the brains when you get this deep into a day of Counter-Strike sometimes.
Don't replay it. Don't replay it.
That was big from Gyro on that retake. And this flash for Secret from Ricky.
Yeah, very
That's
good.
a chef's kit flash.
They've really done it to him. They've really had to do it to him.
Oh, Sicko, unfortunate.
That was not Sicko mode at all.
That was Sado mode.
12-10. Could have been 11-11 with a broken economy Order. But,
Oh, it's still real expensive for Order, though.
of course.
We're in the same position as the last round, to be honest. Renegades, after getting that bomb plant and with 1 player surviving for Order, they're still very breakable here. Order. As for Renegades, a little bit of loss bonus behind these guys, so bomb plants mean more buys. And this was the issue on Mirage, I feel like. Just scraping by sometimes is not enough. You need that economy behind you, give you a little bit more room. If some of these clutches don't go your way, you could still recover.
It's going to be a tough ask. Double for Order at the moment. That's again starting to pressure Scaffold. He's like that position.
Fine shot from Ricky. He needs to get out of there. A lot of players pressuring him, but he's using his utility well. Good nade and flash. A lot of rotations going over to B, though.
It's a hard-fought round here for Order. It's been a hard-fought half and map, but they're now teetering on the precipice of putting this into their back pocket. 13 for Order would be fantastic. Still a ways to go, but Renegades faltering a little bit and Order capitalizing on it.
That's great.
13-10, 4 guns alive. The storyline starts to shift. We might be seeing a map 3 tonight after all.
That's given them a little bit more room. Still not quite there yet for Order, especially because Renegades, look, no bomb plant means that the majority of their players aren't above that 8k armor sort of mark. And that seems to be the difference between buying and saving for Renegades. They're going to take a save here. Aim of the game here for Renegades, look, some of the time they just win these rounds, but they're looking for 2 to 3 kills. Keep that CT economy honest. As for Order, if they can keep 4 guns alive now, not only are they up 14-10, but say Renegades gets a round or 2 back, maybe someone comes up with a big play and gets a clutch. Order can still try to fight to close this game.
No run boost for Malta, but he's got himself in much the same position that we saw Ricky playing on Order's T side.
All 5 of them over here towards the stairs.
This is interesting.
Has Gyro got any backup? I don't think Gyro has any help over here. The closest player is Ustillo, who's got a handful of utility that he can help him out with, a couple of counter flashes. That's going to be it. Nice counter flash to start things off.
I think Gyro just got binked through the box there because it was a deagle in Hatz's hand. He's maybe lucky to survive.
He's having another great map, by the way.
Gyro,
Yeah,
for sure.
great series from him.
Flash has landed in his face, but not too perturbed by that. Certainly a bit more worried by the bullets headed in his direction by Hatz. Wow, Ustillo, a turret. 14-10. There goes that round.
4 guns up. That's really good. Order's economy starting to look a little bit more stable. All right, Order got a very, very big break at that 11-10 scoreline when they were managed to close out that 2-on-1. That they really shouldn't have been gifted that opportunity. Now time to capitalize on that. A lot of pressure over here towards the ramp from everyone.
Alistair's been liking his position this time. Doesn't quite work out for him, missing the shot. But Gyra already good for 1, maybe 2. Helps Alistair out at least to get a couple of frags. And Valiance is also chiming in. It's a team effort this round from Order. 1 kill for each of the players on the A bomb site. Inns is going to try and do something special, but flashbangs popping in his face. He's got the right idea. He knows exactly where Gyra is, but he just can't find that frag. And Sicko has got himself to sandbags, but it's a 2-on-5. What hope do these two have?
A lot of hope. Wouldn't be counting them out. Inns might even be finding a wallbang kill in a second here. 2 players very, very low over here towards the A site. Light miss there from Sicko. Going to molly off Ali.
That's a shot. Ali trying to get a bit cheeky, but his head's poking above the box.
What a molly on Valiance as well.
He's dead too.
Gyro's the only one over here. He's got 5 HP and he goes down to Sicko.
No.
This is falling apart. Ustillo and Ricky
Not like
scrambling to get into position now as the bomb goes down. Inns slinking away back towards Secret. Actually continues to push forward onto the site.
Well, these two veterans been on many a team together. Inns, the smoke's going to fade favourably for him. Trade down by Ustillo. Sicko in the 1-on-1. He's been spotted out now as well. Ustillo knows there's a smoke behind him. He's going to put that on top of the bomb. He's probably going to have to go for a smoke defuse here, at least to try and draw Sicko out. He can't even find the bomb. This is problematic. Ustillo, what's going on? Sicko's got this one, surely. Surely it can't happen again, Pilsky. No!
No! How? That's the second time on the same bomb site. He's read it perfectly. Oh, God, Sicko. Oh, it's just a shocker. It's so unfortunate. He's read both of those plays. Both of those 2 clutch rounds, he's read them perfectly.
Yep.
And he just can't connect.
Put your F's in chat for that fella.
Oh, big Fs for Sicko.
That's a head in your hand kind of a moment. Imagine 2 of those rounds go to Renegades.
No, they would have already won by now.
Yeah, like what a different kind of a scoreline this would be. No, Order. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes. That's what this is all about.
They've lost first pick, though, and their money's not looking great. Order players dropping like flies. They're going to be broke if they lose this round.
Renegades definitely not happy about that last one, and they have just steamrolled Order in this one. That's a turnaround. That's a bit of a fight back from Renegades. They've been looking a little bit flaccid in the last few. But they're perking up a little bit here. Just a little bit more yike it. Like it? Like it?
That was a bit yucks.
I was still just thinking about Sicko in the last round.
I don't blame you for thinking about Sicko. Nothing wrong with that, mate. All right, Renegades completely changing up the pace after a clutch round. Not a bad shout some of the time. Round's really drawn out. High tension. You move straight into the next round with really, really up-tempo pace. Can definitely catch your opponent off guard from time to time, and it seemed to. All of Renegades' kills, very quick succession, order dropping like dominoes. And you can see the effect of how close those rounds have been on their economy.
Yep.
They have no loss bonus. Ustillo, Ricky, and Alistair are all double eco. So they can choose to save 2 and just try to win that 1 gun round. They can try and force Deagles and armor around this M4, knowing that they have to save twice anyway. A lot of different options here. Looks like it's going to be a buy this round. MP9 being dropped over, Deagles and armor. It's a buy that can work. It's a dangerous one, but this is predicated off some good individual form, some good timings, and some gunfighting. Very little utility here for order. Ustillo's actually prioritized the utility over the armor, interestingly enough. It's a 4-man stack over here towards this A side of the map, and a push straight down ramp, actually.
I like it. I really like it. I think Gyro likes it as well. Hats and Dexter, bye-bye. And Renegades left faltering after that. They're reeling at the moment.
Oh.
That's a shot, though, from Sicko. No scope headshot. Right onto Gyra, and Sicko does not want to lose this map. He's had a couple of rough clutch situations. He's trying his best to pull Renegades through this round, though. And Inns catches Valiant as well. It was looking horrible for Renegades. Somehow, they might be able to claw a way back into this round.
3v5. They've turned that situation around. It's all on Alistair now. Sneaking his way around the backside. Over towards the stairs. Sicko planting for stairs?
So,
No, he's safe.
not too safe from Alistair. That's a crisp shot. Inns. Too good, though. Not afraid of the challenge. 15-12, one step closer for Renegades. We talk about them being the comeback kings, the ones that can grind away a game like this.
I mean,
Is it going to happen again?
that's a round that should never have
That's
gone the way of Renegades.
Pretty
With that
filthy
start.
from Sicko. That was Sicko mode.
That was Order getting a bit over enthusiastic as well, I think. That can happen from time to time, though, especially if you go for a bit of an aggressive strat on that CT side and it's working for you. Sometimes it's hard to just pump the brakes and stop pushing when you know you've got the advantage. Sometimes it's not correct to do that. But in that situation, it really got the better of Order. They're now going to have to take a save, and what was a 15-10 lead is looking like it's going to be 15-13 with Order getting a full buy in the next round. But if they lose, they're probably going to be sitting in that murky territory at 15-14 of 3 to 3.5k. You're looking at your MP9 armors, your Famazanas, your Scouts, your Deagles. Not really ideal.
Not where you want to be against Renegades. Not where you want to be against anyone. Looking at a potential OT.
Still at least do have one proper buy in this next round before things get a little bit dicey, if they haven't already.
Well, Renegades are going to get the silent drop and walk their way into the B site. Gyra's looking in the wrong direction at the moment. Has no reason to turn around, so next they're going to put it into that. There's a big on to Malta. For all the good that it's going to do, Renegades seem to be walking their way through this round, no problems at all.
I like how they've added a lot of little railings to Vertigo as time's gone on.
Yep.
Turns out that, oh, maybe you might fall off the map is not actually really a good, fun game mechanic to have. Safety first. Take timeout for Order. They know that this is the round that they need. They're going to have to invest everything they have in it. Gyra, enough for an AWP, but only the singular. So probably chucking that in Ricky or Alistair's hands at this point. It's going to be Alistair. And like I said, Jordan, they lose this round, they emptied the bank accounts. They will be in that murky territory of not having a great buy. This is the one that counts. This could be the game right here. If they lose it, more often than not, we're going to OT. No kits, which could make a bit of a difference with how tight some of these late rounds have been.
Has been a very good fight back from Renegades. Don't expect them to falter here, but there's always that chance. I mean, Gyro, a bit of magic in the last round. Oh, not the last round, the previous round with the MP9 pushing aggressively down ramp. That's the kind of thing, all it takes. One moment like that and Renegades are done. We're headed on to map 3.
This is for everything. Order could keep themselves alive in this series, guaranteed. They just need this gun round. 2 players towards middle for Renegades, scouting things out. Valiant's riding or dying behind those sandbags in a critical round.
Plenty of mollies for Renegades to flush him out of position, though, if they do head to A.
Ricky is very aggressive up here, and he's got no utility to fall back. Him and Gyro just refreshing smoke towards those stairs. That's full control over there for them. They're holding that crossfire for the time being, but Renegades readjusting back towards the ramp. Most likely back towards Valiance and Alistair. Is there going to be a Molotov for these sandbags? They've got plenty of them. There it is. Valiant's being flushed out of position.
Smoke goes through from Alistair. They know that Valiance is there. There's nowhere else. There's no reason to throw a smoke in that position if there's no player there.
It's a 5-on-4. Things get difficult here for Order. Alistair's got that AWP on the site, but a bunch of smokes and flashes heading in his direction. Yusilo joins up behind him. He's trying to find a pick before this utility comes out, but pushes him out of position, but he can't do it, and Renegades, they take the site.
Yeah, Alistair trying to look above the smoke, but he's not spotting too much out. Dexter plants by default. Inns, too good. Alistair down again to Inns' hand. 31 frags for him this round. And it continues to look better and better for Renegades. Water are thinking about saving right now. This would be pretty big, actually.
I think they should probably save. Get a much better buy in that next round if they can hold on to these guns. It's a sensible thing to do. Not even any point going for kills or going for damage. Renegades has a very strong economy at this point. To be honest, I'm surprised they're not really hunting that aggressively. That's a massive difference maker, Jordan. Look at that. Gyra, he can drop a M4 at least. The other guys, they have to drop Famises, but at least they'll have utility.
Order can fight for the round. That's
much better than they would have if they all died.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they'll have a couple of kits to boot, but no AWP this time around. Not that it was really much of a difference maker in that last round. With how Renegades is playing,
yeah,
just so much utility, so hard to find an angle. If you're not getting a pick in the first couple of seconds, you're likely not able to find opportunities. Smoke's gone off the end of the map for Order, unfortunately. Nice nade to start things off. That's going to be a bit more 1B potential for the M4, and definitely going to make a difference for a Famis to have someone on 70 HP instead of 100. A little bit easier to clean that kill up.
Every little bit counts. Order can still get over the line. 16-14 here. A lot of presence in mid, and Inns has a challenge waiting for him. Double nade. Gyra's been spotted. Inns deals with it well. The man can do no wrong right now in DreamHack Summer. Everything seems to be going his way. He's having a phenomenal tournament.
What a back off from that engagement. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's what they had going for them, you know? They're all in that position. Now they're just sort of backing off into spread out positions in a 4-on-5. It's like, what do you really expect to get from that? They are going to go for a bit of a cheeky boost. That might be a difference maker, but Renegade's just ready for everything now. Spam through. A lot of damage. Well aware that there's 2 Order players in that position.
It's actually probably disappointed not to actually get the kill there, but a lot of damage.
Only way Order takes this round is if the clock gets the better of Renegades here. Very, very late into the round, but the utility usage is good, Jordan.
Yeah, it's not too bad for Renegades. They've still got some time, and Dexter spams through the smoke. He might get another 2 smoke bangs. Order just way too obvious, the positioning. Alistair at least pegs one back, but a 2-on-5 turns into a 2-on-4. I'm not sure how much better that really is necessarily. This is definitely looking like it's an overtime. Sicko behind the sandbags is in such a powerful position here as well. He can peek. Alistair's down already. Ricky, 1-on-3. Can't do it. And it's overtime. Renegades complete the comeback. Now they need to complete the win.
And that's unfortunate. And sometimes it's very easy to just ignore context and look at it and go, hey man, they're up 15-10. They had 5 rounds to play with. Realistically though, you get like 2 proper gun rounds, maybe 2.5 out of those 5 rounds when you're on the CT side. It's different when you're chasing on the T side and you've got that loss bonus, you get more gun rounds, but CT, not really as many opportunities. Speaking of those though, Matt's trying to open something up. He's taken a lot of damage from that Molotov. It didn't even look like it was on him.
Yeah.
How's he gone down to 12?
Alistair just right-clicks a grenade down the stairs there. He's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Great bowling. Great catch.
Good start for Order. But Renegades still have 4 players alive. You can't count them out of this round just yet. Ramp has been a very powerful position for Renegades on this T side. They've been able to take control of that time and time and time again. Alistair gets the timing wrong and Dexter gets it right.
That's the man advantage. Gone in the wind. And that's going to spread the CTs a little thinner again. Ustillo, he's been pushed and pulled every which way this entire half. The man has had his Nikes on. Maybe his Pumas on, perhaps. And Valiant's going down to Sicko's AWP as well. Bad to worse for Order, unfortunately. Another man advantage just gone by the wayside as Renegades methodically push this A site again with great utility usage.
He's in a bit of a different spot. This time he'll be checked though. Dexter, a little bit too on the ball at the moment. He's really had a phenomenal last 4 or 5 rounds. Double kill almost every single round to get Renegades back into the overtime and now to start the overtime as well. Sicko trying to get a little bit fancy. That wasn't entirely necessary, but it's not going to make a difference to the round. And I think this is a scary looking Renegades now when you've got that core starting to really come online. Dexter, Inns, Sicko, all having a really good map here on Vertigo now. It's taken a while to get to this point. Dexter was missing a little bit at the start. But now that he's really putting those numbers up, it's looking like bad news for Order.
Oi! Oh, the screen shake actually throws Ricky off there. Unfortunate. 16 KOT though. So, I mean, losing that AWP might mean that they can't double AWP in the 3rd round should they lose. But it won't affect their buy that much, other than that. Oh, they should still be fine. You got some other players who got 6k. That's all good. Not going to make any difference. Less control a mid. A lot of the time, Renegades been walking through mid together, looking for those picks. Stins there for the time being. They're also waiting for this push down ramp, which there is a bit of a setup for 3 players here.
Alliance has gotten quite deep onto the ramp. He's found 1, 2, in fact. Don't even worry about that round. Order have got it on lockdown.
That seems to be the better setup for them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Once it gets to that A site, that's where Order starts to have some difficulties, it seems. But if they're locking down Renegades at the ramp, then things get a little easier for them. But that kind of thing is easier said than done. You have to hit your shots and you have to do it consistently.
Not a whole lot riding on the rest of this round for Malta. Any economic damage that he gets is not going to be relevant at all.
Yeah, this is just a pure stat pad.
Unless he wins the round. She won't.
That's a
16,
30 for
16.
Jara. What a bloody series this man's having.
Having a good one.
Evened up the account. What will order better on? I think probably the CT side, right?
I don't know. I was going to say I think Renegades was better on their T side. Alice has burned a lot there.
Kind of hung around in one of those mollies waiting for a T to peak. Risk versus reward. Doesn't work out all the time. Renegades back to this setup towards middle.
I guess to your point, it was a 9-6 half for the CT sides. So, debatably, the CT side more important.
Siko just edging out, waiting for someone to get a little over-aggressive. Both Jara and Siko looking to try to pick off these Ts once they move past a certain point of no return. 30 seconds on the clock, a very slow round. Very little information for Order. They're playing quite passive positions at this point in time. Smoke start to come in though, that's pressure on Jara.
Yeah, he made a bit of noise dropping off. I would have thought Inns knew where he was, but he didn't. Dexter is jumping all over the place, backed up well by Siko. He was getting shot in the back by Ustillo. It's just Ricky holding onto the side at the moment, but he's going to be mollied off. Double molly! He's got himself a smoke down, but there's no way he can survive. Siko charges at him with a P250. Now just Alistair left. 17 for Renegades to get 2 on their T half of overtime.
It's up to Order to respond. Under the pump a little bit, and going to be even more so under the pump after throwing away that lead earlier on. Should Renegades secure a match point here, that's a difficult thing to come back from mentally. Because at that point, when you're down 16 to 18 for Order, you're not even playing for the win. You're just playing to extend the game into another overtime when you've lost the majority of the rounds.
Yeah.
The last little bit. Can be hard to overcome that, but we'll see. Ricky cops a nade again, probably sick of that at this point. It is actually a double AWP on the T side, and he just dies to utility, which has been one of the biggest keys for Renegades on this CT side. So much utility damage with those mollies, with those HE nades. That's one of the AWPs out of the equation.
Oh, Inns gets himself another one before going down. Malta, maybe lucky to survive there. Alistair missing a critical chance. Could have equalised at 3-on-3. Smokes go down. Alistair can get himself a bit of room here. Malta walks right into his crosshair. Not prepared for that one. Siko. Safe underneath those Tech-9 bullets. Over on the B side is Hats. He's the sole defender. He's been spotted crossing back to the boxes, back to the stairs now. Gyro's going to try and get aggressive, but Siko's done the exact same thing in mid. That's clean from Hats. And Renegades are on match point now. 1 round away from putting themselves into the grand final.
Really good effort from them. Water going to take attack pause. Talk about how to close out these next 2 rounds on this T side, or at least just one. Really rough position Order's found themselves in, up 15 and 10. They've only taken 1 of the last 9 rounds. And this is not the first time that Order's had a lead against Renegades and lost control of it.
Exactly right. I mentioned it on Mirage. When was the last time you saw Order come back from a deficit against Renegades? Doesn't happen very often. But Renegades, time and time again, able to do it against Order. Very reminiscent of the Road to Rio Grand Final where Order was up 12-3 on Inferno. Maybe this isn't quite as egregious for Order, but they did have 5 map points that they've let slip.
Both AWPers playing around this smoke. Oh, nice pick for Alistair. Untraded as of yet.
He spots Siko as well. It's so close.
You got to be happy with that, to be honest. Flash lined up for him. Vertigo playing a bit of an off angle. And here's the shift. Ins and hats, I like the way they're playing from these man disadvantages. It's aggression towards stairs or middle, and they keep switching it up. This time it's back towards middle, and it's caught Jara off guard. They're so consistent in that mid-round, just pushing every time there's an issue for Renegades.
Has allowed order into the B site, though. Almost. They actually haven't crossed into the site just yet. There's utility down. Hats is holding. Good round from him so far. 2 kills, but he seemed to have flashed himself. And that has given the timing for order to walk out onto the bomb site and get the bomb down. And still looking to make amends for that. Big grenade. Spam through from ins. He's at 36. Won't quite get the 40. If Renegades finish it here, and they are certainly looking like they might be able to. Ricky and Ustilo low on HP. When does Renegades pull the trigger? Now is the answer. Hats has got his 3rd for the round. Sicko's got to get 1 more, but he'll fall. Alistair trying to keep the hopes alive. Doesn't quite hit the shot. Deagle's good. Ins defusing the bomb, spinning around. He's got Noffit. Why has he done that? He could have won the round. Alistair's kept it alive. Order are still in the game.
That's massive. In's almost on for the 40, Jordan.
I think he wanted the 40. If he would have stuck the defuse, he would have won the round.
True.
But he wanted the stats.
Damn. Big play from Ali. So fluid with his movement as well. Always a pleasure to watch. That's one of the 2 for Order. Keep themselves alive.
1 more. That's what both teams are saying right now.
That's one of the 3 rounds where Renegades, it's those late round smoke defuses. Usually those go their way. Order's had 3 of those situations where they've gotten away with that kind of thing.
Yeah, true. Another good grenade from Renegades. Hats, well, he binks Ricky down to 2 HP. Malta can at least trade. It's Jira dead. Ricky's very low on HP right now.
Gonna use the AWP. Not having as much HP to work with to take those rifle duels. Going Dexter, minding either side of this site here. As Order start to group up, but Dexter always knows when to push. So good at finding those intuitive timings. Finds an advantage for Renegades.
3 on 4. Dexter playing anti-flash at the moment, right behind the box. Smolly is going to land on top of Sicko, so he'll be forced away. Dexter does fall, but Sicko, I don't know where that Molly's gone. He's got an incendiary down on the default bomb plant, but it hasn't spread onto Valiant. So bomb is on the floor. 3 on 2 retake for Renegades. They only have 1 flash, though.
Yeah, no smoke for the defuse. Ricky playing around these sandbags, wants to try to find some angles, but he swings a bit too wide, doesn't see Malta. That's going to be it. Wow. Renegades close it out.
Bit of an anticlimax in the end. Renegades finish things off. It's 19-17, and they win 2-0 over Order. They go through to the grand final. DreamHack opens sum up that 1 map advantage.